Hello, I'm Perry from The Interviewer. Today I'm researching Armchair Archaeologist Moshe Roshman.
Hi, good to see you.
Well, so I hear you've been studying a bit on the origins of the Bible. Now,
Right.
if I may ask, do we know where its origins are, or who wrote it, for instance?
It's an excellent question. We don't have a full answer, but we do have a strong sense that it was not one person at one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but different people writing centuries apart from each other. Yeah. I like, as an opening, this book by Richard Elliott Friedman that I'm holding now in the Hebrew version, Who Wrote the Bible. That's a good start, and there are others. But going back to your question, you know, if you allow me to answer in a kind of a story fashion to make it. And of course, you know, there'll be some, not everything will be proven. But I like to think about it as starting with a very tired and frustrated poor priest in the village of Anatot, north of Jerusalem, around 2,900 years ago.
And why is that? Why do you feel like this is an accurate theory?
Well, I think about it because there is, if we look at the Bible and go maybe 50 years back, at the beginning of the book of Kings, the sons of King David are fighting over the kingdom. As you know, King David was the second king, but the first one to really get a hold on Israel as a whole. When King David is very old and about to die, two of his sons fight over who will be the king after him.
Yeah.
And King David has two major priests.
Right.
One is Abiathar, who is a descendant of Moses, and one is Tzadok, a descendant of Aaron. And these two priests take different sides. One priest sides with Adoniah, and one priest sides with Shlomo, the two sons. And do you remember which son wins?
I do not.
So the son who wins is Shlomo, Solomon, becomes King Solomon. And unfortunately for Abiathar, the priest, he takes the wrong side.
Oh.
And once Solomon becomes the king, he says to Abiathar, and I will show you early in the book of Kings, ולאביתר הכהן אמר המלך ענתות לך על שדך כי איש מוות אתה. And to Abiathar the priest, the king said, go to Anatot, to your fields, because you are a man of death. So, go away or I shall kill you now. You must be wondering why he didn't kill him.
Yeah, why not kill him rather than just send him away? It seems like a much easier solution.
That might have been a good idea in retrospect, but it was a taboo to kill a priest. So the king did not probably want to get the risk of killing a priest. Apparently, however, this family of priests that now has been exiled from Jerusalem, but as I told you, goes back all the way to Moses. They feel like they went to Moses, they were with King David, they were priests in Shiloh, which was the big religious city before the time of Jerusalem, before Jerusalem was conquered. So they feel like they lost a lot, and they feel like they deserve to be the main priests of a kingdom, but they don't have a kingdom. So, any ideas on how they will find a kingdom?
Make one.
Excellent, make one. And which one do you think it would be?
Something that probably is a rival to that of the current priests, I think.
Excellent, right. So those priests from Shiloh originally start mixing up things at King Solomon's kingdom, trying to figure out somebody who would betray the king, and eventually they find someone, Yerovam ben Nevat, who's a general in King Solomon's army, but splits and becomes the first king of the northern kingdom of of Israel. So he's the king of North Israel, or Israel, while the descendants of Solomon remain as the kings of Yehuda, the southern part of Israel, with Jerusalem. Unfortunately, for the priests of Shiloh, once Yerovam becomes king, he does not say, "Oh, please come and be the priests of my kingdom," but instead he says, "Okay, I'm going to do some form of bidding, and whoever has enough money to give to the kingdom will become the new priests." And this family, of course, does not have the money they need, and they stay again outside of mainstream priesthood. This moment in history where this family of people who are priests, they're very well educated, they know a lot, but they are poor and angry, is where I imagine the Bible started. With one of those priests coming back home, maybe it's the holidays, maybe it's some kind of a ceremony, first day of the moon or something, and he doesn't have enough clients. He doesn't have people who want to sacrifice with him, because everybody either goes to Jerusalem or to Beit El or somewhere else. And he sits and he talks to his son and he says, "My, this is so frustrating. We are the greatest priests ever, going all the way back to Moses, and nobody wants us to work for them."
And then so you think this son told his father, "Why don't you write the truth?"
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So the son says that, and the father listens, and he takes the papyrus and sits down and writes the story of the world as he think it happened, with the father, the patriarchs, Abraham and Isaac and Jacob, and then Joseph and Egypt, and Moses taking the Israelites out of Egypt, the Exodus being all led by Moses, with his brother Aaron being not so quite amazing. His brother Aaron, who is the father or ancestor of those priests in Jerusalem.
It's very interesting. Perhaps we should return to that in another segment, but for now, that is all we have time for today. I'd like to thank Armchair Biblical Archeologist Moshe.
Thank you.
And from the interviewer, I'm Perry.